6,000 years ago, an intelligent designer created the heavens, the earth, all the living creatures, the planets, the stars. 4,400 years ago, there was a worldwide flood, destroyed everything. Only one family, Noah's family, survived that worldwide devastation. And here we are today. 20 billion years ago, nothing came together and exploded. A big bang. Pieces flew everywhere. 4.6 billion years ago, some of those pieces came together, formed the earth. 3 billion years ago, after acidic rain rained on rocks, primordial life emerged from a primordial soup. From that one single-celled life, right about there, man evolved from monkeys. And then just a tad bit over, here we are today. 2 worldviews, 2 stories. Which do you believe? My name is Greg Davis. I've been a student of the science of origins for 15 years. I've studied many doctors of science in that realm, and because of that, I've become quite passionate about the subject. My purpose today is to debunk 4 commonly held myths about evolution. And you may ask, well, why? Well, first of all, I believe evolution to be a very dangerous concept, a very dangerous theory. Secondly, you've just been lied to all of your life. And so I'm here to show you some of the areas where you've been lied to. Now, there's 4 areas of deception I want to concentrate on here today. One is the history. Ancient past is unobservable. 2 is the geologic column. 3, I want to touch on the definitions of evolution. And fourthly, I want to address radiometric dating. Getting back to the 4 areas of deception. First of all, I want to touch on the science of origins. Just the science itself is unobservable. A tenet of the scientific method is that the data has to be observable. There's a theory, you test that theory, and you have observations of the tests, and then you have conclusions. And the other thing about the scientific method is it never proves anything true. It only is a process of elimination. It proves things false. So, history, or the science of origins, is unobservable. The geologic column is another thing of problem with evolution, because it's man-made. It uses circular reasoning. They use the fossils to date the rock layers, and they use the rock layers to date the fossils. It's circular reasoning. There's no real basis for these concepts. And besides that, there's plenty of evidence out there that falsifies it, scientifically disproves the theory of the geologic column. There's fossilized trees upside down running through millions of layers of rock, according to the geologic column. That is an evolutionary impossibility, but it exists, and it exists all over the world. And is actually greater evidence that there was actually a worldwide flood. Look, fossils also form quickly. We've been able to produce fossils in the scientific labs. All it takes is pressure, and something that a worldwide flood would readily be providing. All right. According to Dr. Kent Hovind of Creation Science Evangelism, there are 6 definitions of evolution Evolutionary scientists like to lump them all together. They don't like you to divide them out, but here are the 6 definitions of evolution. There's cosmic evolution. It's the Big Bang, the origin of matter. There's chemical evolution. That is the origin of chemicals. There's planetary and stellar evolution, the origin of the stars. Organic evolution, the origin of life, coming out of the primordial soup I mentioned earlier. There's macroevolution, change from one kind into another. That's the one that takes a leap of faith. That is the one where they're saying that we came from apes, humans from apes, that dinosaurs came from birds, or maybe it's the other way around. Anyway, it's changing from one kind of creature to another. That is macroevolution. Microevolution, on the other hand, are variations within the kinds. There's lots of different kinds of people within human beings. Darwin's finches are a great example of microevolution. It is the only form of evolution that is actually observable and can be proven, has not been falsified through the scientific method. But the problem with microevolution, it is the one form of evolution that will constantly be used to supposedly prove the other forms of evolution. Radioactive dating is something else that is severely lacks evidence. It's used to date fossils, rocks, bones, etc. According to Dr. Henry Morris, it relies primarily on 3 assumptions. One is there's a closed system. That never happens in nature. 2, the system has to start without any daughter elements, meaning there was nothing there beforehand, and so it started from nothing, which is evolution is riddled with this kind of concept. At any rate, that doesn't happen in nature. And it also assumes that the rate of decay must remain a constant. That assumes evolution. Obviously, circular reasoning again. If the creation events happen where an intelligent designer created and then there was a worldwide flood, that would disrupt a constant decay rate. And the other thing that's bad, that's terrible about radioactive dating is that it results in all sorts of figures, and then scientists routinely go back to the geologic column to select the results that best suit the theory. Look, to sum it all up, the toxic teachings of evolution are a fairy tale because millions of years are unobservable. The geologic column only exists in textbooks, and only one in the 6 definitions of evolution is observable, and the others are not. Radiometric dating is purely a guessing game. Those are the reasons why evolutionary theory is a fairy tale and why I believe it's harmful. Going back to what I said earlier in this speech. Listen, Adolf Hitler's killing of millions of Jews stemmed directly from his belief in the evolutionary process. Mankind consistently commits atrocities against their fellow man because of the mentality of the survival of the fittest, and because they're taught that they're animals and that they came from animals. And look, your children doubt the existence of a creative God, a loving and creative God, because of unproven theories that are taught as science. And all it takes in this story is a long, long time ago in a far, far place. Thank you.